All right, and happy Monday, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, Living in Vegas magazine. Let's get this started. This show started. Here we go. All right, and welcome everybody to Living in Vegas podcast. Excuse me, that was terrible. Uh, I'm your host, Sherman Ray, and I want to welcome you all to the show today where we talk about the people, the places, the happenings, anything that could, just interesting in Las Vegas. That's where we're at, folks. So we love doing this. We've been with you since last year and making changes all the time, and we will continue to do that until we get it right. No. Well, hopefully you all had a good weekend. I know I did. There were a lot of games on this weekend that we enjoyed. We had a lot of shakeups here in the Valley, and so we're going to talk about that this today. We'll talk about some of the Henderson Silver Knight stuff. We'll talk about the Vegas Nighthawks. I don't know if you even heard about those guys, and much, much more. So let's talk about the magazine a little bit. So Vegas, Living in Vegas magazine is out, folks. I want to encourage you that if you get a chance to go to our website, and I know you do, just go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. Let's put that URL up there. Can yeah. So livininvegas.com. That you can download the PDF copy of our magazine, Living in Vegas. And so we're already working on the spring summer issue of it already, but we have the stuff that's in the inaugural edition is something you want to keep. I mean, this is really something you want to keep. It's our first magazine, and it's got some great articles in it. We found out that a couple of people who are in the magazine are actually running for office. I had no idea they were running for office. They weren't at the time. And so it's historic. It's historic in that fact that we've got people who are running for office that are in there. Victoria Seaman, Augusta Massey. Both of those ladies are running for office, which is great. And we've got, you can see on the cover, we have 23 hacks that every Las Vegan should know. Yeah, 23 hacks that you should know. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't know. And what they'll do is they'll actually save you from going through a lot of stuff. So yeah. So definitely pick that up at livininvegas.com. Or if you'd like, you can just send me an email. Just send me an email to info@livininvegas.com, info@livininvegas.com. We'll put you on our mailing list, and you will get our daily updates. That's right. We have daily updates that we send out to all of our subscribers, and you can get daily updates about what's going on in Vegas, things that are going on now, things that happened a couple of days ago, things that are happening in the future. It's real quick reads. I mean, real quick reads that you can get through, and we've what they call what do they call it? Abrogated? Not abrogated. We put them together. We've collected them, and from all kinds of news sources, and we put them out so you can actually check that out. Also in the news, folks, we've got an event coming up, and our event is just exciting. Our event is called the Happy Hour. So the Happy Hour is, it's going to be held on February 17th over at Tenaya Creek Brewery. It's 831 West Bonanza Road. Sponsored by Tenaya Creek and our friends over at Beers with Friends, and of course Living in Vegas magazine. So what this is actually it's a business networking event. So we're going to be real excited about bringing together business owners who've been basically waiting, chomping at the bit to get back in the swing of things. So some of you may know that before we got into magazine publishing, we were my wife and I actually ran a networking group, and we've ran a couple of networking groups, and I started the Black Business Chamber of Commerce, and so we are always wow. So I just turned on my Facebook thing, and all of a sudden I've got these flashing things. You ever notice Facebook is just changing stuff every 2 minutes? which is good sometimes and sometimes not so good. So we have always been part of the business community, bringing businesses together, always continuing to speak into the lives of business owners. So the happy hour is just going to be another one of those things. Let's put that. Can we put that back up there? Okay. Um, yeah. So it's our business networking mixer. So February 17th, which is in just a couple more weeks, starting about 5:30. They'll have drink specials, and we're going to be doing these like every 2 weeks. So the happy hour will be every 2 weeks. It'll be at a different brewery or venue like that every 2 weeks. And so our first one is the 17th. And some people are probably asking, well, why don't you just have it every week, or why didn't you have it in a couple of days? Well, the lovely Mrs. Ray and I. That's right. I call her the lovely Mrs. Ray. We are celebrating our anniversary. So we're celebrating our anniversary in 2 more days. So that would actually be the first Thursday. So it'll be every 2 weeks, every first and third Thursday of the month. Okay, the first and the third Thursday of the month we'll be having these events, and so we would have had the event on the first Thursday of this month. But once again, I'm having my anniversary on February 2nd. That's right. So 2/2/22. That's right. So we're celebrating our 31st anniversary. 31st anniversary. That's crazy, isn't it? And so we're not going to do anything. We'll be too tired. We're getting old. So we're not going to do anything. We're gonna hang out and be with each other this week. And so no, we're not going to do anything this week. I got a couple of calls I'm going to be making. That's really pretty much it. But that's pretty much it. Not going to do anything else. So first and third Thursday of the month. The first event February 17th, and you can actually check that out. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Let's see. Oh, so last thing. Okay, so we've got a logo that we're going to be trying to introduce to you guys, okay? So the new logo for Livin in Vegas. So I'm going to make that a little bigger. You guys don't mind, do you? Yeah, I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. And that's kind of what it looks like. Can you see that? Hopefully everybody can see that. So the new logo, we're going to be adding on just a little bit of a little swoosh there for the V. So living the Vegas lifestyle, living in Vegas magazine. Yeah, baby. So we've been testing this out. People are really digging it. And we are probably going to make this a permanent feature of the, we'll be changing up our branding a little bit. Because really it's all about living the Vegas lifestyle, isn't it? So I hope you really enjoy that, folks. For those of you who are just joining us, this is probably going to become the new signature branding for the magazine, and you'll see it. We'll start putting it on all of our stuff. So all of our venues will start seeing that V. So instead of just being a regular V, it'll actually be kind of a guy raising his hands saying, I'm living the Vegas lifestyle, because that's really what it's all about. Matter of fact, we spoke to one of our new sales associates. Her name is Nap Sugar, and she said something. She said, Vegas is the place I live. Okay, it's not just the street. Okay, it's not just the street. It's the place where I live. We're living in Vegas, folks. So I took that and I went, oh my gosh, that is just profound. I thought that was what a profound thing for her to say. I thought it was probably one of the most profound things I've heard in a long time. And let's see, something happened here. What I just saw was what I just saw was a picture. Facebook often reminds you of things that you've done, and one of the things that I've done before, folks, and I know it's going to come out anyway, so people are going to see it anyways. I used to sing for a famous group. Okay, yes, I did. And can I take just a second? I'm going to take one more second, folks. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but you can't see what I'm doing here on Facebook, but I can see what I'm doing here on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the front page of Facebook, and on my feed, they actually have a picture that they try to remind you of all the cool stuff that you've done in life, right? And I'm going to see if it's still there. It doesn't look like it's there. For some reason, it's not there, but what it does is it reminds you of all the stuff that you've done in life. Okay, I can't find it, so I'll come back and it shows a picture of me when I used to sing for the Platters. So I sang. Yes, I did. I know. I sang on the road for quite a few years, and came off the road. Was married, all that cool stuff, and really my life changed dramatically. So yes, I'm not just a pretty face. Some people see my guitar. Can you see my guitar back there? I know I'm generally sitting in front of it, but I generally have my guitar. You can see it over my shoulder here, folks. It's right there. I generally have my guitar with me all the time, and I'll pick it up from time to time. This weekend I was working on a real cool song, but that's what Facebook was reminding me of. Okay, let's get to the show. Let's get to the show, folks. We actually had some really cool information that came out this weekend. In addition to the games, this is a picture of Dave Ziegler. Dave Ziegler used to be with the New England Patriots, and now it looks like Dave is going to be our new general manager. Yeah, owner Mark Davis tapped the NFL's most successful franchise over the past 2 decades by hiring Patriots Director of Player Personnel, Dave Ziegler. That's him, as our new general manager. Many of you probably know that. That over the weekend, or actually in the last week, we fired our general manager for the Raiders, and we still have a kind of up in the air issue with our head coach after John Gruden resigned earlier in the year. So Rich Bisaccia still kind of up in the air where he's going to be. We don't know, but we do know that we had fired our general manager, and now it looks like we've got a new general manager, and his name is Dave Ziegler. So Dave Ziegler used to be player personnel guy over at the New England Patriots. Many of you know the story of the New England Patriots, that they are a dynasty, literally a dynasty with Tom Brady and their head coach. So now it looks like one of their components is now moving over to us here in Las Vegas, but that's not all, folks. Okay, that's not it. We look like we're also going to get Josh. We're going to get Josh McDaniels too. So, is it Josh McDaniels or Josh Daniels? Yeah, McDaniels. So Josh McDaniels was their offensive coordinator for the Raiders, or excuse me, the Patriots. Looks like now he is, and they have not made the NFL has not officially made the call, but it looks like we're actually going to get Josh McDaniels as our head coach. So, and why haven't we got the big word about this? Well, because the NFL does not like to interfere with ongoing bowl games, that kind of stuff, with big announcements. So they basically tell everybody, look, don't make any, even if you've got a new guy, you've got all this cool stuff that's happening with your team, do not make any kind of big announcements because we've got bowl games. Okay, and we did. We had some real cool ones this weekend. We'll talk about that in just a second. So, unofficially, Josh McDaniels is making the move, and he's going to be our head coach. But officially, okay, I am thinking, or excuse me, officially, Josh McDaniels, or unofficially, Josh McDaniels is going to be our new head coach. Officially, there's been nothing yet. Okay, so we've got to hold off on got to hold our powder, or keep our powder dry. It's kind of an old folks saying. But we just have not gotten that official designation yet. We will, though, folks. I can watch my words. And so let's turn the corner just a little bit. Let's talk about the bowl games that happened this weekend. We had some bowl games this weekend. I shouldn't say bowl games. We had some championships, some divisional championships that decided the AFC and the NFC. And many of you watched those games. I know I did. As a matter of fact, the lovely Mrs. Ray made a charcuterie board. We used to call it a meat platter. And but it's called a charcuterie board. And I think she just likes saying that word. And she did a fantastic job. Do I have a picture of it? Yeah, I've got a picture of it. I put it on Facebook so that everybody could see it. And she did a really good job. And I got to chomp, 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 which was great. I'm going to show you a picture. I did take a picture of it, folks. So I know I probably shouldn't spend the time doing it. Okay, can you see that? Okay, you can see it, right? There's my charcuterie board. Okay, there you go. All right, so I didn't have another picture of it close, but so which was great. It had ham, it had beef, it had cheese, veggies, all that kind of stuff, and a wonderful plum chutney. Yes, a plum chutney. I love chutney. I'm Jamaican. So, yeah, we love chutney. My mom used to eat marmalade. She didn't eat jelly. Marmalade. Yes, well, of course. She's Jamaicans are part British, especially old Jamaicans, still have that British thing that they hold on to. Viciously, they hold on to it. And so mom would, so I'm accustomed to chutneys and marmalades and stuff like that. Mom used to have that stuff as a kid. But we used to call a meat platter a meat platter, but now it's called a charcuterie board or charcuterie board. I didn't even know they actually had classes for that. And so, some people dig it. And it was great. I had a great time, loved it. And so we enjoyed ourselves. So let's go on to another. So the Dollar Loan Center. So many of you probably heard about this. The Dollar Loan Center is almost done. Okay, it's about 95% complete, and it is the new home for the Henderson Silver Knights. And they're actually going to be. They actually had a job fair down there last week. Yeah, last week we announced that they were having a job fair, and they're going to have another one. It's going to be, when is that date? February 12th. Okay. They're going to need as many as 150 people on game day for security, guest services, ticket office, sales, concessions, and retail. So they're going to have the job fair will be at the Lifeguard Arena at 222 South Water Street in Henderson. So February 12th is going to be a big day that they're going to have. They had a huge number of people who came out for the job fair that was just last week. I mean, they literally probably had about 400 or 500 people, and they all said the same thing. This is a great opportunity to get in with the arenas. Now, this is what we put out an article on this last week before, about the effects of having sports in the town. Okay, specifically we were talking about the Raiders organization, but it's really sports in general, diversifying the economy. A lot of people really don't want to work in the casinos at all, and there's nothing wrong with working in a casino if that's where you're at. Dig it, that's cool. That's you. But there's a lot of people that just won't work in a casino, and the opening of these arenas, sports venues, sports related things are really where people are at. Okay, and as we continue to diversify our economy, folks, the jobs. A lot of people, once the pandemic hit and they got laid off and they might have worked in a casino, they said, you know what, this was my chance not to work in a casino. I'll hold out to find something else. A lot of people started their own businesses, and we've done stories on that. A lot of people are still on the sidelines, but some people were waiting for these arenas to open up, and this is just the first one. Okay, so the Henderson Silver Knights will be playing at this one. There's also a team that is going to be playing. They're called the Vegas Nighthawks, and the Vegas Nighthawks are our indoor football team. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, folks, we've got snapping them up. Okay, we've got stuff happening here in Vegas, and we've got a ABA basketball team that's going to be playing here. We still have the Las Vegas Aces. Okay, the Las Vegas Aces are getting ready to start again. They've been all over the place, just doing great. So, in a nutshell, folks, we've got a lot of cool stuff happening in Vegas. We love living here, folks. This is just, you cannot ask for a better place to live. And so let's go back to the arena a little bit. So the arena that we were just showing here, the The Dollar Loan Center Arena, state of the art, lights, camera, action. It's about 95% complete. About 6,000 seats. It's about 1/3 the size of T-Mobile, but they said, guess what? It's going to be a little more intimate, a little more, huggy feel, smaller concerts, that kind of stuff. I think it's perfect size. It's just a perfect size for events. Um, let's got just enough time. Let's talk about Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, she's going to be back on the Strip, okay, this spring. So she's going to be at the park, MGM, for 9 dates. It's called Jazz and Piano. So she'll be back there. So you can be able to pick up tickets. They're going to go on sale February 4th, just in a couple of days. So she'll be there. And Adele. So Adele, folks, what is going on with Adele? So Adele has been on hold for forever, it seems like. She was supposed to have started her weekend with Adele a couple of weeks ago now. Oh, it was probably a week ago. But the problem with Adele is COVID has hit her crew, the supply chain to get her stuff here. Just isn't getting here. She gave this impassioned, Instagram or Twitter Instagram feed, and for about 90 seconds, and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Things just haven't worked out. I'm embarrassed," and everything else, which is big itself that a superstar of her magnitude would go around saying, "I'm sorry." But that's why we love her. So, folks, wait on her. She's worth the wait. She's a great show, superstar, and we love us some Adele, right? I mean, we really do. The Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights, woohoo! Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, we beat Tampa Bay 3-2 in a shootout. So this was a game that was just this weekend, and we were very excited about that because the Vegas Golden Knights have been up and down. They've been fighting and clawing to get to back on the winning ways, and they had a great run this last couple of games, and this last one, and they blew it. They said it was like a two. They were ahead by 2 shots, okay, and they blew that lead, and then they came back and won it out in a shootout. So that's fantastic. Congratulations to our Vegas Golden Knights. They're doing a fantastic job, and we want to thank them for doing some cool stuff. So there's a story for you folks who live here in Vegas, and there's a lot of people who listen to our broadcast who are not in Las Vegas, but a lot of you who live here in Las Vegas, you're watching us on Facebook, watching us on YouTube, or on our website. You've got Zach Conan. And who's Zach Conan? Yeah, he's our state treasurer. So he's encouraging all Nevadans to search for and claim their unclaimed property ahead of the National Unclaimed Property Day. Okay, this is big. They said the state of Nevada is currently holding, guess how much money? How much property value? $950 million worth of property, of unclaimed property. What? Yeah, that's a lot of property. Zach said since he took office, he'd returned over $128 million in unclaimed property. But he said that his team's working diligently every day to reunite Nevadans with their unclaimed property. So he says we'll actually leave a link to this. We'll leave a link to where you can find your unclaimed property, and things are like bank accounts. Do you have a bank account that you forgot? How about an uncashed payroll check? Okay, actually, I've had that before. It's not unusual, folks. I used to work construction years ago, and I think I was switching jobs in between one job and another job because I worked as a union electrician. So you go on to these jobs, so my first job was like the Fremont Street Experience. Then I went on to, I think, a hospital. So I worked on Mountain View Hospital. That was a job I worked on for quite a long time. So you go to these jobs, right? And you work on them. You might work on them for 6 months. You might work on them for a year. Well, every once in a while, you'll forget a check, right? So I was making really good money. I was a union electrician, and I got a phone call from one of my employers, and they said, "Hey, Sherm, our comptroller said that there's a check that you have never cashed. And I went, really? And they said, yeah, would you mind cashing this check? And so I had to go looking through my stuff and paperwork and everything else. Oh my gosh, there was a check that I forgot to cash. And I said, is it still good? They go, yeah, it's good up to like a year. Went down and cashed it. So uncashed payroll checks, utility deposits. So you might have had to, move from one place to another. Stocks and bonds, oil and gas royalties. Are you kidding me? So we'll leave a link to this, folks. So we'll and if you get our mailing list, if you're on our mailing list, you'll get this. Okay. So how do you get on our mailing list? Well, this is really easy. All you got to do is send me an email. Send an email to me at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com. Get on our mailing list. Okay. All this stuff you'll get. Okay. Daily. You'll get daily updates and much more. I talk a lot, folks. And because I talk a lot, I don't get through all of my stuff. I just don't. Because there's interesting things that need to be elaborated on. I like to elaborate and embellish stuff. So you'll get stuff I talk about plus much more. Just get on our mailing list at info@livininvegas.com, and you'll get all this stuff. Okay. What else we got? Just got a couple more minutes. Cool. Let's not do that one. Pro Bowl. So Pro Bowl's coming up, folks. Oh, this is big. So the Pro Bowl is going to be at the Allegiant Stadium. Well, before the Pro Bowl comes on, there's going to be a skills challenge. We talked about this last week. Skills challenge, all that cool stuff is going to happen at the ballpark, which is up in Summerlin. And so that's going to be happening next week. Yeah, the Pro Bowl is like next week because there's 2 weeks in between the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is not till February 13th. So next week, the Pro Bowl happens. So this week, folks, we're going to have a bunch of people here in town. Tom Brady's going to be here. And a lot of these guys are going to be here for the skills challenge over at the ballpark. So there's an interesting story about people who are a part of the Raiders who made the roster for the Pro Bowl. Hey, we got some cool folks. So one of them is Hunter Renfrow. Come on. You guys remember Hunter Renfrow? They call him Third and Renfrow. I picked this guy the first game I saw him. The first game I saw Hunter Renfrow, I go, there's something special about this kid. I mean, all the other guys were great. There's no doubt about it. Great wide receivers. But there's something about this kid, to me, that stuck out. He's a pro. He's a Pro Bowl. Okay? Darren Waller is going to be there. Who else is going to be there? Crossley, Max Crossley is going to be there. He's our defensive tackle, or is he? I think he's a tackle. Yeah, or defensive end, one of the two. And Darren Waller. So I think I said Darren Waller before. But we've got down like 4 guys. It's got Max Crosby, and Denzel Perryman. Okay, so that's what I forgot. I almost forgot to tell him. Anyways, cool stuff. So anyways, once again, there's so much more that we could talk about today. And if you get on our mailing list, you will actually get all this stuff, okay? And much, much more. We'll talk about the event, the happy hour. We'll talk about the magazine. Talk about all these things that are going on, plus much more, folks. Just get on our mailing list, okay? And you will get that. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas magazine. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show today, folks. We will see you again tomorrow. I probably won't be here on February 2nd. It's my anniversary. We'll tape something and we'll put it on, okay? So you can actually check it out, okay? But you won't miss anything because there's always something cool happening here in Vegas, okay? This has been Sherman Ray, once again, Livin in Vegas magazine, the podcast. Thank you, folks, for being a part of the show. We will see you again tomorrow, 8:30 to about 9 for everything about Vegas. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye.